Why the most flavorful meads skip the water completely. Can you really make a mead without using a single drop of water? That sounds impossible until you realize that some of the oldest and boldest mead styles in the world were made using nothing but honey and the natural liquids found in fruits, grains, and even wine. No water, just raw ingredients doing all the work. And today we're diving into exactly how that works and why it's worth trying. Because while water is the most common base for mead, skipping it entirely opens the door to styles that are fuller, richer, and completely unique. If you've only made a mead using honey and water, this might change the way you think about mead making forever. Most people assume that water is essential for fermentation, and in many cases it is. Water helps dissolve the honey, adjust sugar concentration, and makes it easier for the yeast to do their job. But here's the twist. What if you replace water with something that adds its own flavor, body, acidity, and even more sugar? You can, and mead makers have been doing it for centuries. Let's start with one of the most popular and approachable styles, the melomel. A melomel is simply a mead that includes fruit. But when you skip the water and use 100% fruit juice as your base, you create something truly special. Instead of honey and water, you're fermenting honey and maybe pure cherry juice or orange juice or even a rich blueberry juice or whatever juice. This does two things. First, it boosts sugar, giving you a higher potential for alcohol content. And second, it loads the mead with natural fruit acids and tannins that water simply can't provide. The result is mead with a stunning color and flavor that's incredibly expressive, even before aging. One of the best known examples of this is a Cyser. That's a melomel made with apple cider or fresh pressed apple juice instead of water. Think about it. You're blending the tart crispiness of the autumn apples with the floral sweetness of honey. The result is something that sits beautifully between a mead and a hard cider. Cysers are incredibly smooth and well balanced, especially with tart apples like Granny Smith. You get the natural acidity and a touch of bite without ever touching a water filter. But if you are more of a wine connoisseur, don't worry, there's a no-water mead for you too. It's called a Pyment. A Pyment is made by fermenting honey with grape juice or wine must. This is where mead literally meets wine, creating a hybrid that has a structure of a good Cabernet or Merlot or Pinot with the aromatic soul of a mead. And because grape must already has everything yeast needs, sugar, nutrients, acid, it's a perfect base for a powerful, water-free fermentation. Okay, we've covered fruit, but what about all you homebrewers coming from the beer world? You're going to love this next one. It's called a Braggot. A Braggot is a blend of mead and beer made by combining honey with beer wort. That's sweet liquid from mashed grains. The wort is your water replacement. You get a malty, rich drink with a backbone of craft ale and an unmistakable aroma of honey. It's the best of both worlds. And for the bold, there's a mead style that skips water and takes things up a notch. It's called the Capsicumel. It's made by fermenting honey with spicy chili peppers, often in a base of pure fruit juice. The result, a sweet, spicy, sometimes fiery mead that coats your mouth in heat and richness. Now, if you're wondering why someone would go through all this effort, it's not about skipping water. It's about replacing it with value. Water is a blank canvas. Fruit juice, beer wort, and wine must are all paints. You're not just making a mead, you're creating something layered, expressive, and deeply satisfying. So next time you plan a batch, ask yourself, what would happen if I left the water out? Because when you do it right, that one change can transform a simple recipe into something unforgettable. Thanks for watching and happy mead making. For a full deep dive, check out the Practical Mead-Maker eBook. It covers everything from honey and water chemistry to flavor balancing, off-flavor fixes, and troubleshooting, all in a clear, beginner-friendly format. You'll find the link in the pinned comment or the video description, along with my go-to gear and mead-making tools. Have a question? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to help. And if this video helped, hit the like and subscribe for more no-fluff mead-making strategies that actually work. Check out the other videos and playlists here to master every step of the mead-making process, from advanced techniques to building unforgettable flavor. Happy fermenting, and here's to your clearest, strongest batch yet.